The Banshee used to follow death, like, you know. Supposed to be always. My sister now up next door, Fogarty's lived next door to her, and they always said that the Banshee followed
different families.
Yes, you know, the Fogarty, the Banshee. But and they really believed it.
Yeah.
And
but
nights before a person died, they heard the Banshee.
But do you remember Dad telling us about he was cycling up and down, and as he come by Crosstown Cemetery, something come across the road, straight across the road, and straight in the cemetery gates, through the wheels of the bike, like, just darted out and through. And he jumped off the bike, but he didn't know what had happened. He said his hair stood on his head, like, but he come out to Castlebridge, and when he got out, wasn't it his sister? Was only after dying. McNeville's wife was
McNeville's wife, yeah.
By the time he got home to Castlebridge, she was after dying. And that had happened coming by Crosstown Cemetery.
I was told that the Banshee followed the Fogartys.
Yeah.
And Lizzie said to me that night, you'll always know when Jim Fogarty is going to die. Because she said the Banshee follows the Fogartys. But Jim died, and his wife died, and his sisters died, and they all died, and I never heard of Banshee.
Mick Murphy, Barney Murphy's father, he was the only one, and he was a man, Mick Murphy was a man certainly not to tell any yarns. He wasn't a type. But he heard the crying, I think it was his father was dying, or mother, I don't know. But he heard this crying in the field opposite, and he went out, and he looked. He said there was nothing in the field. There was nothing, no growth on the ditch or anything. But the crying was there, and he could hear the crying, you know, but he couldn't see anything. He couldn't see anything. But whatever it was, Mick was telling a true story, because he wouldn't, you know, he wasn't the type of a man to make up anything, you know.
I remember there was my great-granddad who was dying. The man who was working there was telling me this, and he said he used to leave Kilcurl to go over to Ballyhoo. Them was the two places. One was where the brother was living, this was his sister was dying in Ballyhoo, and this Paddy the workman, you knew Paddy Murphy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right, yeah.
So he said as he had across the main road and he was going up the brow, he heard the Banshee. And the Banshee came, he said, all along the same with him, and when he got into the haggard, the Banshee disappeared, and when he went up, she was dead.
Well, I heard John Sunderland saying he did see her up in Kilcar, and she was a bit hair, a big comb, and she combed her hair, and
I think they're John.
I don't know, but she was always come. She followed some families.
Yeah.
Same as, and not come to the door for others.
Yes.
That's about you here.
Oh yeah, there's before different families.
The not Ballydore family. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if anybody was going to die, if you had somebody sick and you heard about, oh, that person's going to die in a very short time.
Or someone, if you didn't know of anyone, you said someone was going to die.
Yeah. And another thing is a light. If you see a light, that's a bad sign. There's going to be a death in your family. Did you ever hear anything like that in your life? Stupid. And I know a fella did see lights, and every time he saw the light, there was a death in the family.
See, this is it, you see. There was coincidence with them, I suppose.
My forefathers' families, the bow was supposed to have followed them. And their version of what the bow was a little small woman combing her hair. Tiny, tiny woman. And she'd give three, screeches, and then stop for so long, and then there'd be three screeches again and go on that way. But as a young one, about 16 or 17, I heard her myself going when there was an old man around that died down in Morntown. There was a brick fell down, with big open chimneys that time, and he was sitting in under the fire in under the chimney, and the brick came down, hit him and killed him. That was about 8 o'clock one lovely moonshiny night. I can remember it as if it were only yesterday. And I remember my father calling me out to listen to the bow, going up the road, up the Duncannon line, and went straight down the Murntown Road. And we heard in half an hour after that man was dead.
Well, that's what my father used to say. Like, you know, if you found a comb and it belonged to the Banshee,
You weren't allowed to pick it
you
up.
weren't allowed to. If you saw a comb, to leave it there.
Yeah, I
You
heard
know.
that too. Don't ever pick up, we were warned never to pick up the comb. Because I lived down, I mean, mother maintained she seen the bow crossing, rising in the sky and going over the graveyard, but we were afraid, we were an in.
Yeah.
But she said never pick up a comb off the road, it could be belonging to the bow. They believed in the bow.
Well, if you saw the bow, or heard the bow, and you saw this comb on the ground, you usually be told to go on the ground. And if you pick that up, you'll either lose your arm or your arm will become stiff and you won't be able to move it. And there was supposed to be a child picked it up one time. And she lost both her arms. And she only lived a few weeks or something.
The only thing I ever heard about the comb was never take up a comb, because it could have been the bow that lost the comb following some family. And if you took the comb, that the bow would never rest until that comb was left back out wherever she could get it. And I heard another story about a family that there was an old man. He was very nearing death, like he had been in agony for a couple of days. And around 11:15 on one night, he sort of got great strength, sat up in the bed, and he said, "Oh, she's coming for me now." And she knocked. There was a knock on the window, and then there was 2 screeches, and he lay down and died. That was another family not far from where I lived.
I know my mother was supposed to see the bow some years ago when she was going nursing. Going over a stile now. She always said she had long hair and half of it was fish. That's what my mother seen when she was nursing, going out in the middle of the night. She seen the bow.
Some people say that the Blanny crease was the bow because it used to then screech out of him in the night, and then you think it was the bow.
Years ago, I was frightened out of my skin about the bow. My in-laws, my father-in-law, I lived up outside in Escorty now, and he used to go down the fields for a few sticks. And he'd come home and he said to me, "Mate, there's someone going to die. I heard a bow." And there was no one in the parish sick or anything like that. And the next thing, someone come in and said, "Such a body is after dropping at the haystack." And that's the only thing. And he said he heard the bow. He said there's someone going to die because he heard the bow. But I never really believed it. But I was joyless. Do you know, he said he heard it down on the thing. But I thought I heard the bow too, and it was only a fox.